I want us to start where we stopped the other day. Remember, the title of our discussion was Your Choices and Action Determine or Shape Events Around You. Before we go ahead, I want to emphasize that the choices you make and the actions you take determines what you experience in future. Your experiences may be collective or individual. Before you take up an arm to attack and kill someone, know that you will experience that same action or similar action in this life or another life. Before you make the choice to cheat someone or cause pain in the life of someone, take time to think the karmic consequence, because you will endure the same experience in this life or another life. Before you make the choice to punish anyone for some thing the person did to you or your loved one, think twice before you take action. Think of the karmic consequence. Your actions may be justified in your heart and in the eyes of men around you, but remember, you are not ordained to ensure that people pay for their wrongdoing. There is no natural law that ordains human beings to ensure that people pay for what they do. The Bible even states this very clear, that we should never judge, because when we judge, we shall be judged also. Remember, we are all sinners. We all have faults. And the law of karma is there to do the job and not us. The law of karma is the law that has been put in place by God to judge us for things we do, to balance, to create a balance in life. If you or your loved one is hurt by anyone, let it be done unto you that it is your past choices and actions in this life or your past life that led to the present situation. You have to understand this very well. You have to analyze the situation. You try to go back to your past, or if you are such a person who is capable of visiting your past life, you could do it to understand why certain things happen to you in this life. You may have hurt someone in the past, and that action triggered a karmic consequence. That consequence is among the millions of consequences your soul needs to work on through experiences in this earth school. Each suffering and pain that you go through, each suffering and pain you experience in this life are karmic consequences. They are karmic lessons your soul needs to learn due to your past choices and actions in your past life. You do not want to have the same experiences over and over in this life or other lifetimes. So you have to think about the choices you make and take action that will not entail you to create karmic consequences and will have to go learning the same lessons over and over. You may not remember that you lived another life before. You may not even remember when you hurt someone or things you did wrong in another lifetime. But this does not cancel the fact that your soul is immortal and lives for eternity. It does not cancel the fact that your soul will keep on taking other personalities and coming back to this painful earth until it finishes learning its karmic lessons. These are certain things that many people are unaware of. And it is my job, it is my duty and the duty of those who understand these principles, this philosophy to be able to pass it around. It is my duty and the duty of those who understand this philosophy to be able to pass it around so that people will understand. In my first discussion, I tried to quote some examples of our past choices and that makes us who we are today. One of those examples was you being a scientist, a teacher, a medical doctor, a lawyer, a businessman, you name it. You being who you are today is because in the past you made a choice and took action by putting many years of studies in the field you chose. And today you are living that choice and action. You are the product of the choice you made in the past. You are the product of the action you took due to the choice you made. This could be applied in other areas of life. If you are obese, it is because you made the choice to eat unhealthy foods. This may be a bitter truth, but I need to tell it because I want to illuminate your mind so that you understand consequences of the choices you make and the actions you take. If America is what it is today, it is because Americans made the choices in the past that made America what it is today. If you have a certain disease, it is because of certain choices or activities you may have involved in the past that caused the disease. You have eaten or drank something that caused the disease, or you may have lived a certain lifestyle over the years that gradually accumulate toxins, bacteria, viruses that cause your ailment. At times, you may not be aware enough, or until you consult with a physician, you may not understand the cause of your ailment, and you may lay blame on different sources. What about divorce? Divorce is a very, very prominent problem in our society. It is always the sum total of irresponsible and negative attitudes of both the spouses that lead to such circumstance. Divorce begins with a thought. You have to understand this very well. There will be no divorce unless there is a thought of divorce. A spouse has to think divorce, breed it to maturity, then wait for the appropriate moment to let it happen. Both parties play major roles to make sure that divorce takes place. They blame each other, get angry with each other, hate each other, refuse to take responsibility. They are greedy. Pride comes in. And they agree to get lawyers, spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, see the need to part ways, so on and so on and so forth. Once it is all over, one person always thinks the other person was responsible. In reality, both parties played a major role in the past, either in the past or in the present, to make sure that divorce takes place.